You can follow along with the check-in process by visiting bit.ly/ECR logs. From this page, you can select the net you're interested in and view the log in real time. Again, that URL is bit.ly/ECR logs. We have a text line available for checking in. Text your call sign, and only your call sign, to 716-317-9050. You will receive a confirmation of your check-in, and Net Control will work you in at the appropriate time. This option is not for in and outs. If you check in using this method, please plan on sticking around and participating. Again, the phone number is 716-317-9050. Please stand by for the net beginning shortly.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Morning Brew for the 4th of March, 2025. This is net number 915 for you keeping track. My name is Scott, W2BLT. I'll be your host for the first hour, and we'll turn it over to K2CMT, Mike in DeBerry, Florida, and both of us got Vicky on the log this morning. Let me give a few announcements here. Don't forget Thursday night at 8 p.m. in the Zoom room. We have the Elmer, Ask the Elmer. Bring your questions, whether you think they're foolish or not. There's no question too foolish, and a lot of folks in there that'll give you a little hand with anything, answer any questions you have. Tonight at 8 p.m. right here in the Zoom room, it's the TechNet. Come join Dick, Kevin, Roger, and I, or any combination of those four in the Zoom room for the TechNet. The Reflector magazine is out. I'm sure you would have got a notification, or if you're on Facebook, I'm sure it was on there. Check it out. A lot of good stuff in there. And if you can't read, why, it'll read it for you. The magazine is free, and it includes an audio version. And then Thursday coming up, we got the 20-meter net at 10 o'clock with Roger and his crew. Always a good time on 20 meters. That's on 14.317. Alrighty, that's it for the announcements for me. The question of the day, I know everybody's waiting with bated breath, is how often is your local weather forecast accurate? 25, 50, 75, or is it accurate 100%? And I'm talking about the one you get off the radio or on your local television. Let me reset here for a moment. Alrighty, I'm going to list the text check-ins here first, and then we'll take our mobiles. So far we have N9BBM, Nathan, K8UFM, Randall, KD2ZJH, Stephen, KD9YUZ, Jimmy, KD2YUY, Charles, KE2EIO, Michael, KE2EDS, Mark, W5CEV, Craig, PE3XTD, Antonio in Toronto, Canada, looks like you're new to the system, and KC2NJV, Wayne. At this time, anybody who's mobile, please come with your call sign twice and slowly, mobiles only.
This is Kilo Juliet 5, India Charlie Golf. Kilo Juliet 5, India Charlie Golf, Gordon Mobile. Kilo 4, Zulu Zulu, KK4, KZZ. Papa Mobile.
KQ4, UAM, 4, AM.
B8, BHL Mobile. WB, BH Mobile. Kilo Zulu 4, Juliet November. Kilo Zulu 4, Juliet November is in and out. Whiskey 4, Hotel Kilo Lima. Whiskey 4, Hotel Kilo Lima. Please check me in. Whiskey Bravo, 4 Romeo Oscar, November. WSPUHI in and out.
Eight, Charlie, Whiskey, Foxtrot. Kilo, Foxtrot, 8, Charlie, Whiskey, Foxtrot.
Romeo Kilo, KQ4, ORK Mobile.
Alrighty, up there, let me recognize from the bottom up, we had KQ4 ORK, Barry, had KF8 CWF, Brian from Warren, Michigan. We had N2 UHI, Arden, Wake Forest, North Carolina was in and out. Thanks for joining us. We had a K4 WPY, Michael. The next one I want to verify the call. It sounded like a WB4 RPM or something like it. Could you come back with that call sign, please?
Bravo, 4 Romeo Oscar November.
Okay, Ron. We got you. We had W4HKL, Steve, down in Cumberland Gap on his way to school this morning. Have a good day, Steve. We had KZ4JN, Anders, Gainesville, Florida, was in and out this morning. Appreciate you joining. WB8BHL, Ed, KQ4UAM, Kevin, KJ5IWP, Steve, KK4KZZ, Mark, and at the top of this list, and I'm going to go to him right now, KJ5ICG, Gordon in Richmond, Texas. Good morning, Gordon, and how often is your local forecast accurate? 25, 50, 75, or 100% of the time?
Good morning, everybody. I would say my local forecast is accurate about 75. Since there's not an option a little bit higher, but yeah. I checked the National Weather Service, and they're pretty much in line with that, so they do a good job. KJ5ICG.
75 it is. Thanks for joining us, Gordon. We appreciate it. KK4KZZ, Mark in Satsuma, Florida. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody on the net. Hope everyone's having a happy Tuesday. I know it's early yet. I would say about 75% on the accuracy of the weather. I'll give them a good 75. But I use my phone most of the time to get the weather. Seldom pay attention to what the news is saying. But I will send it back to net. Have a great day. KK4KZZ.
Thanks for joining us, Mark, and have a good day. KJ5IWP, Steve in Abilene, Texas. Good morning, Steve.
Audio level is low. Good morning, Scott and Miss Vicki. Thank you for what y'all do. A little stormy, rainy here, but I think most of it's passed. But they were pretty accurate, so I would say in general, they're probably around
a little bit higher
70% accurate around here. Good morning, sometimes coming hard. Thank you for what y'all do. Around us, but a little stormy, rainy here, but I hope everybody has a great day. God bless. But they were pretty accurate, so I would say that.
Alrighty, Steve. Something was coming in with the air. Could you give me an answer again, please?
Audio is normal.
Alrighty, Steve. Something was coming in with the air. Could you give me an answer again, please? Alrighty, we're going to have to wait and go back to him because he's double connected with the audio check node there. Let's go to KQ4 UAM, Kevin in Interlochen, Florida. Good morning.
morning, Scott and the crew. I want to say about 75%, I think, for the weather in the Sunshine State where we're at. KQ UAM, back to the net.
That is just way too loud.
Good morning, Scott and the crew. I want to say about 75%, I think, for the weather in the Sunshine State where we're at.
Alrighty, 75% it is. Thanks for joining us this morning. Next up, Ed, WB8 BHL. Good morning, Ed.
Hey, good morning, Scott, and everybody on the net. Vicky, WB8 BHL here in Orlando. I would say here it's about 75%. Seems like it's about how accurate they are. Hope everybody's going to have a great day. Back up to you, Scott, WB8 BHL.
Alrighty, thanks for joining us this morning, and you have a great day. Next up, WB4 RON Ron in Niagara Falls. Good morning, Ron.
Vicky and everybody else on the brew this morning. I'm going to say 50% because our weather region for some odd reason. So I usually get my weather when I'm really interested in finding out what's going on. I usually get it out of Canada, and it's much more accurate than what I get out of Buffalo. So I'm going to give him 50%. WB4RO1, back to net.
Yeah, you're up in no man's land up there in that little pocket where the lakes really screw with you a little bit. Have a good day. Appreciate you joining us. This is W2BLT. Next up, K4 WPY. Michael in Kings Mountain, North Carolina. Good morning, Michael. K4 WPY. Michael, are you in there? Right along. Let's go to KF8 CWF. Brian in Warren, Michigan. Good morning.
They're about percent. I use their app on my even when I travel out of the region. Back to control. KF8 CWF.
Alrighty, thanks for joining us, Brian. Appreciate it. Next up, KQ4 ORK, Barry in Apopka, Florida. Good morning, Barry.
Good morning and a happy Tuesday to everybody on the brew. I'm going to have to give our Florida meteorologists 50% because it could be raining on this side of the street and sunny and hot on the other side of the street. Everybody has a great... Back to net control, KQ4 ORK in the mobile.
Have a good day, Barry, and thanks for joining us. Let's go up to the top of this list. Let me acknowledge some more text check-ins that came in, and we'll go to the top of this list. We had KQ4 ZGF, Bryn, W8STJ Steve, W2 KDC Dennis, KD2 WBC Paul, W8 WHK Bill, and W9 EBB Donald. Let's go to the top of this list. Nathan, N9 BBM in Chicago, Illinois. Question of the day is, how often is your local weather forecast accurate? 25, 50, 75, or 100% of the time? Good morning, Nathan.
Good morning, everyone. W2VLT and 9BBM. Chicago. Well, since I work for a local TV station, I can't say this too loud, but we're 25% accurate recently. Chicago's going to get snow today. So 25%. Thanks for hosting the net, and I'll try to make another donation this week. Back to net control at 9BBM. Chicago.
you, Nathan. We appreciate it, and you have yourself a great day. Hopefully the forecast get a little... K8UFM, Rando in Brownstown Township, Michigan. Good morning, Rando.
Good morning, Scott. Good morning, Vicki. And good morning to all the Brewsters on frequency. Answer to that is 75%. With that, back to net control. This is K8UFM, and everyone have an outstanding day.
And you as well, Randall, and thanks for joining us this morning. KD2ZJH, Stephen in Brooklyn, New York. Good morning, Stephen.
Good morning, Scott and the rest of the Brew crew. You could put me down for 75%. I hope everyone has a very nice day. This is KD2ZJH, back to net control.
Alrighty, Stephen, you have a good day as well. KD9YUZ, Jimmy in Wakarusa, Indiana. Good morning, Jimmy.
Well, good morning, Scott and Vicki and everybody listening on the crew. I'm going to give them 75%. That's just a little bit high, but we're going to go with that. I know forecasting here around the Great Lakes is kind of painful for them, but we're going to go with 75. Everybody have a great day. KD9YUZ, back to net.
All right, Jimmy, I hear you on the Great Lakes forecasting. We got two lakes right by us, and it depends on which way the wind's going. Thanks for joining us. B2YUY, Charles, over in Syracuse. Good morning, Charles.
Oh, good morning. I was wondering if my app was going to be able to let me 75%. Put me down for 75%. Kind of the same thing. It's tough to predict which way the wind is going to blow, which is going to determine where that lake effect snow is going to end up. And there's been times that we've been known to shovel 6 inches of partly cloudy out of the driveway as well. 73 all back to net control, KD2YUY.
Alrighty, thank you, Charles. And could be worse. You could go up north a little bit to Tug Hill there, and you can shovel snow every day, even when it's 75 and sunny. Appreciate you joining us. KE2EIO, Michael, down in Elman, New York. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Scott. Good morning, Vicki. Good morning, everybody. Well, in Western New York, you know what that's like in the wintertime with these snow bands. They fluctuate like crazy. You could have green grass and sunny and go up Mountain Road and have a snowstorm. But I'm going to say 75% of the time. I always look at the radar. It's KE2EIO 73 and back to net control. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. And did you say 75?
Yes, sir, 75.
Alrighty, have a good day, and thanks for joining us this morning. KE2EDS, Mark in Elma, New York. Good morning, Mark.
And the rest of the crew, I'm going to go with 50%. It's pretty tough when they're telling you there's no snow and you look out your window and it's snowing. So it's 50%. Have a great day, KE2EDS.
Have a good day, Mark. Thanks for starting it with us this morning. W5CEV, Craig in Spring, Texas. Good morning, Craig.
Good morning, Scott, Vicki, everybody on the crew. I'm going to go with 75% here in the Houston area. W5CEV, back to net control.
Alrighty, 75 it is. Thanks for joining us. This is W2BLT, and you're listening to the Morning Brew. Next station, I think we got E3TXD. Antonio, it looks like you're new to the system up in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Good morning.
I think somebody's dyslexic. It's VE3XTD.
Alrighty. Let's see here. VE3XTD. That sounds familiar. Eric, good morning up in Gravenhurst. How are we doing today?
It's the day after yesterday, the day before tomorrow, so where things are going well, and I would give the forecasters here about 75%. Back to you.
Sounds good, Eric. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. And KC2NJV, Wayne in Belmore, New York. Good morning, Wayne.
Good morning, all. KC2NJV here. I'll give him 75%. Have a great day.
Well, it sounds like the weather forecasters are doing a fairly good job, according to this. Next up, KQ4, ZGF, Bryn, Rockholds, New York. Good morning.
Good morning. I would have to give a 75%. Sometimes the time is wrong on when it's going to rain, but usually if they say it's going to rain, it's going to rain. So yeah, 75%. KQ4 ZGF, back to net control.
Thanks, Brennan. Have a great day. W8STJ, Steve up in Rochester Hills, Michigan. Good morning.
Good morning, Vicki. Good morning, everybody here on the Morning Brew. I'm gonna say for here probably about 75% most of the time. Not too bad. Hope everybody has a great day. 7 for y'all. W8STJ.
All right, thank you, Steve. Appreciate you joining us. W2KDC, Dennis down in Dennisville, New York. Morning, Dennis.
All right, good morning, everyone on the Brew. I'm going to go, I guess, about 50%, maybe a little bit better than that, but, you know, the, quote, local weather comes out of either Rochester or Elmira, which is 40 or 50 miles away in each time, so they do what they can do, but that's the way it is. I checked the radar, and the radar is usually pretty good. I don't know what we did before. We had phones and stuff that did all of it for us. W2, KDC, back to net control.
Alrighty, thank you, Dennis. Yeah, and you're in that spot in the middle of everything. Probably pretty hard to do the forecast down there. Have a great day, and thanks for joining us. Let's go to KD2 WBC, Paul in Dunkirk, New York. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Scott. Moving down for 75%. The local boys are pretty decent. I was tuned into a guy named Ryan Hall on YouTube there, and he didn't take into account when Lake Erie froze over. You for lake effect snow, and that just don't happen. So everybody out there, have a great day today. This is KD2 WBC. I'm clear.
All right, thank you, Paul. It's amazing how that lake freezing over changes things, especially for you down there. Have a good day. W8WHK, Bill down in North Myers, Florida. Good morning.
Good morning. It's, I forgot what's it called, 60 and clear. That's my weather forecast. I give our local guys and gals, 25% accurate. They rely too much, it seems, on these computer models. And, you know, with computers, we used to say garbage in, garbage out. It all depends on what you put in, and it tells them. I found that a good radar app on my phone is more accurate than they are. But, again, I don't see how they can even forecast 2 weeks in advance when they can't even tell us what it's going to do this afternoon accurately. I guess I'm kind of sour on them, huh? Okay, back to you, Scott. This is W8WHK73.
Alrighty, thank you, Bill. Appreciate it, and have yourself a good day. I've got a few more text check-ins, but before I take them, let me take some regular general radio check-ins from anybody, anywhere. Please come with signs twice, and as always, slowly.
KJ7, IJU, Kilo, Juliet, India, Juliet, Uniform, Mobile. BWK, K5, Charlie, Mobile, in and out the field. Have a good day, sir. CZX. KJ5, CUS, 7. Golf Uniform, Sierra. Kilo 2, Alpha Alpha Charlie. Kilo 2, Alpha Alpha Charlie, in and out. Whiskey, Delta 8, Papa India Charlie. Whiskey, Delta 8, Papa India Charlie. And good morning, Ben.
N2BH. N2BH.
Kilo 5, Romeo Lima Romeo, K5 RLR. KEA SMS. KEA SMS.
M7 Hotel, Yankee Hotel. M7 Hotel, Yankee Hotel. In and out.
KI4, Victor Lima Yankee. KI4, Victor Lima Yankee. In and out.
Kilo Oscar 4, Foxtrot Lima Juliet. Kilo Oscar 4, Foxtrot Lima Juliet. In and out.
Alrighty, let's hold it up there for just a moment. We recognize who we have here. We have KO4 FLJ. A job in Hope Mills, North Carolina was in and out. KI4 VLY. Charles in Cocoa Beach, Florida was in and out. Looks like you're new to the system. Welcome. And N7HYH, new to the system as well, out in Sedona, California, was in and out. Hopefully next time you guys join us to answer the question, but have a good day. Appreciate you being here. KE8SMN Jeff, K5RLR Randall, N2BH Bill, WD8PIC Bob, K2AAC Art in Tonawanda was in and out. We had KJ5GUS Gus, no, Bruce in Spring, Texas. KC5CZX Daryl, K8BWK Mr. Ben out in Oregon, Ohio was in and out. Have a good day, Ben. We had KJ7IJU Sean and N8ZFH. Anyone else want to get in on this round? It's come with your call sign twice and slowly. Well, I guess we got everybody. Let's go to the top of this list. W9EBB, Donald in Ocala, Florida, via the text line. Good morning.
Morning, all from Ocala, Florida. I like to call it bipolar Florida because of the weather. One day it'll be absolutely freezing, and then the next day it'll be 80 degrees. But the weather then, I would say, is usually 75%. I want everybody to have a great day. Thank you for everything you do on the net, sir. And 73. This is W9EBB.
Thanks, Donald. Have a great day. Next up, N1, the CBM, Carlos in Hollywood, Florida, one of your hosts on the Aeronautical Mobile Net here on the East Coast Reflector. Good morning, Carlos.
Good morning, Scott, Vicky, everybody else. Beautiful morning down here in South Florida, partly cloudy and 71 degrees. The weather local forecasters, 50-50, they make the forecast, although there's only a 10% chance of that happening every day. How is that for a number? No, in all fairness, they are pretty good at their job down here. I would say 50%, 50 between 50 and 60%. They're very good. Today, a treat, after 3:30 p.m. Eastern, Aeronautical Mobile's going to be up there. Roger's going to be helping, Roger and Randy, from the ground. So anybody out there who has HF privileges, you're welcome to join. The flight's going to go from Chicago Dulles. I made a new city here. From Washington Dulles to Sonoma, California. So we're crossing the country. Get your HF powered up and contact the Aeronautical Mobile. N1 CBM, back to you, Scott. Have a great day.
Thank you, Carlos. Have a good flight, and we'll probably talk to you later this afternoon. This is W2BLT. Next up, one of our hosts here on the Morning Brew, K8BAC, Al up in Britain, Michigan. Good morning, Al. And how often is your weather forecast accurate? 25, 50, 70, or are they always right?
Hey, morning, Scott, and everybody in the Brew crew. I use basically a combination of AccuWeather and whatever that thing is on my phone, and I'd say 75%. They're usually pretty accurate. There's been a couple of times I looked at them and went, what are you talking about? But yeah, for the most part, they stay fairly accurate, so we'll give them a 75%. Everybody have a great day. Back to you, Scott, KABA.
Thanks, Alan. Well, I got you here. The other night, I was listening to a net there, and I believe it was 40 meters. And I heard a voice, that voice, and lo and behold, it was my buddy Al up in Britain, Michigan. You have a good day, Al. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. K2FBT, Brian in Corfu, New York. Good morning, Brian.
Hey, good morning, everyone. It's K2FBT, Brian in Corfu. I think the National Weather Service does a much better job than the TV guessers, so I'll give them a 75%. Thank you very much. Everybody have a great day.
All righty, thanks for joining us, Brian, and have a good day as well. W5VEO, Doug in Lubbock, Texas. Good morning, Doug.
Good morning to all on the Brew crew, and I don't usually catch the local guys, so it's the Weather Bug app, and I'd only give them about 25% out here in Lubbock. About the only thing they get right is the wind forecast. And say good morning to all, and it's not supposed to make it 70 today, but it's still supposed to be a reasonably nice day with the exception of the wind. W5VEO, mobile in Lubbock.
Alrighty, thanks for joining us this morning, Doug. Appreciate it. Next up, one of our system facilitators, W2RBC, Randy in West Seneca. Good morning, Randy.
Good morning, Scott, Vicky, and everyone on the Brew. I believe that the NOAA forecast for weather is more accurate than the local media is. So I'll give them at least a 75% accuracy. Back to net control, 73 to all, W2, RBC.
Thank you, Randy, and have a good day. W4 PPX down in Hollywood, Florida. To you.
Hey, good morning, Scott, and everybody on the crew this morning. Put me down for 50%. Some days it says it's raining, I look out the window and the sun's shining. Other days it says the sun's shining, I go outside and I get rained on. Back to you guys. Have a good day. W4 PPX clear.
Already done. Have a good day. Appreciate you being here. Next, our system facilitators, KD2, BNU, Derby Dan, in Derby, New York. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning, Scott. Good morning to the rest of the net. And don't forget, tonight is the TechNet at 8 p.m., so everybody that's available, tune into that. It's always a good time. I would say 75% here is probably what I would give them. And don't forget, Friday evening is a youth night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Bring a youth and help get those numbers up for Luca, Aiden, and Grayson. Everybody have a great day. KD2 being you.
Thanks, Dan, or as Joe Pesci would say, bring your youths. Next up, N8ZFH, Gary in Woodhaven, Michigan. Morning, Gary.
Morning, Scott, Vicky, and the Brew crew. And this morning I haven't had my coffee yet, but looking forward to it. I would say about 75%. I would have said 90, but I think 75 is the top unless it's 100, and it isn't. But back in the day, for those old timers in the Detroit area, Sonny Elliott was about 10% accurate, but he was funny. Please check me in and out. I'll continue to listen. N8ZFH, back to net.
Alrighty, you have a good day, Gary, and thanks for being here this morning. Let me acknowledge a couple of text check-ins that came in, while I'm talking here, just so they don't think we didn't see them. We had KI5BMI, KM4WZD, KY4MB, K6, AAN, and AA5JW. Let's go back up here. We got KJ7IJU, Sean in Portland, Oregon. Good morning, Sean, and how often is weather forecast accurate out there? 25, 50, 75, or 100% of the time?
I use the app on my iPhone, the weather app, and it is accurate about 35-ish percent of the time. The temperature is accurate about 100% of the time, and that's pretty much what I use it for. So we'll hand it back. Hope everyone has a good day. 70 degrees, KJ7IJU. I'll be clear.
Alrighty, thank you for joining us, and have a good day, Sean. This is W2BLT. Next up, KC5EZX, Daryl, out in Texas. Morning, Daryl.
Good morning, Scott, and the rest of the Brew. It's good to hear another Lubbock station out there today. And around here, there's one of our local TV stations that's pretty accurate. I'll give them about 80%. For the most part, they get it right, but sometimes they get the times totally wrong. And we're supposed to rain by 8 o'clock in the morning here. I was telling you earlier, it smells like rain outside, so guess what? Back to you, KC5CZX.
Alrighty, Daryl. Thanks for joining us, and talk to you again soon. KJ5 at GUS, Bruce in Spring, Texas. Good morning, Bruce.
Good morning. Well, nobody can manage 100% unless they've got a time machine. I just don't really think so. So I'm going to say 75%.
All right, 75 it is. You have a good day, Bruce. Thanks for joining us. Let's go to WD8PIC, Bob in Sylvania, Ohio. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning. 75. I use the weather service. Sometimes when you get some of the local guys, they like to embellish a little bit, and and their embellishment isn't quite accurate. So, but I use the weather service, and 75. And thank you, that person that mentioned Sonny Elliott. I used to love to listen to him. He was so funny. I'm in Sylvania, Ohio, near Toledo, and I love listening to him. Everybody that has dogs, please give the dogs some attention, scratch their tummies or whatever. I love dogs. And have a great day, guys. I got nothing planned. By the way, 39 and cloudy in near Toledo, Ohio. Back to net, WD8PIC.
All righty, thanks, Bob. Whoops, Mike slipped out of my hand. Thanks, Bob, and have yourself a good day. Appreciate you being here. Next up, N2BH, Bill in Palmyra, New York, one of your hosts here on the Morning Brew, and fellow that when I'm on here puts my text check-ins in for me. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Scott, Mike, everybody. I'd go 75 plus. The one station I listen to, the chief meteorologist, he doesn't always agree with what the models are showing and gives his own forecast. Usually spot on. Everybody have a good day, and to BH.
All righty, thank you, Bill. Appreciate you joining us and all you do for us here. Next up, let's go back to Spring, Texas, to Randall, K5, RLR, via the Echo Link. Good morning, Randall.
Well, good morning to you, Scott, and Brother Scott out there, and everybody else on the brew. K5, RLR. Well, let's see. I'm in Texas. Times 2. They're never right, it seems like. I would go with maybe 25%. Sometimes you walk outside expecting it to be hot as heck out, and then it's cold. Or vice versa, it's cold and it says it's going to be cold, and you walk out and it's hot. Kid has to walk out in flip-flops, a cowboy hat, tank top, a parka, you name it. Always a mystery here in Texas. Hope everybody has a good day. 7-3 to all. And we'll see everybody here this evening for the TechNet. Thanks for running the net, Scott. We do appreciate it. K5RLR, back to you, sir.
Good description there, Randall. We'll talk to you later and have yourself a good day. Who we got next here? KE8SM Jeff up in Rochester Hills, Michigan. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, Scott, Vicky, everyone on the brew. This is KE8SMN. Put me down for 75%. We got some great local weather forecasters. And well, my wife and I both chimed in. Sonny Elliott, boy, there's a name from Detroit in the past. Great memories there. KE8SMN, back to net.
All right, thanks. Appreciate you joining us, Jeff, and have yourself a good day. Let's go out west to Hobbs, New Mexico, where it looks like they might be getting a little sand out there somewhere. KI5, PMI. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Scott, everybody on the brew. Yes, it's going to be windy. I believe it's the next 3 days. Pretty bad, too. It's overcast and stuff. So, I use the weather service app, and I'll give them a strong 75% correct. Rest of the day, just some work. Hope everybody has a good day. KI 5 PMI. Thanks, Ned.
Alrighty, Bill. Have yourself a good day, and thanks for joining us so early. KM4WZD, Joe in Claremont, Florida. Good morning, Joe.
Morning, Scott. Good morning, Vicki. Good morning to the crew. You can put me down for 75%. I think giving them the benefit of the doubt, I know it's not an easy thing to make those kind of guesses with the kind of information that they've got coming in down here in Florida when things change around as quick as they do. So I'll say 75% for our folks around here. And I think that's it for me. Y'all take care. 7-3s, it's KM4 WZD. Back to net.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate you joining us. Next up, also via the Echo Link, KY4NB, Scott, down in Memphis, Tennessee. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Scott, Brother Randall, and everybody on the Brew crew. We're going to get some rain around lunch today. Anyway, nice enough for now, though. I'm going to go with 75+% for the local Channel 5. Ron Childers. Used to be Dave Brown here. He retired. But anyway, they do an awesome job. They have a super-duper Doppler radar that pretty much is better than anybody else. And I have to say, though, the YouTuber Ryan Hall sometimes gets it before anybody. Thanks for the net. Thanks to Miss Vicki. Over to you guys. Everybody have a good Monday. 7-3 is all KY4. Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate you joining us, and you have yourself a good day. Let me acknowledge some more text check-ins here before we go any further, just so they don't think I forgot them. We had N5JOJ, KE0GKF, KQ8U, KA5GSS. Next up on the list, K6AAN, Mike out in Valley Springs, California. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, good morning, Scott, and everybody on the Brew crew. I'd say that 75% for our area here is pretty doggone accurate. As far as the rest of the day goes, looks like rain coming in this evening, so what we can do and what we want to do are going to be two different things. Probably wind up helping out with a bunch of housework. Anyway, you guys all have a good one out there. This is K6AAN.
Alrighty, thank you, Mike. You have yourself a great day. I wonder what the answers would have been if we'd have posed this question, say, 15, 20 years ago. That would have been interesting. Next up, AA5JW, James in Spring, Texas. Spring, Texas is well represented today. Good morning, James.
Well, good morning, Brew Crew. This is Alpha 5 Juliet Whiskey James from beautiful Spring, Texas. And yeah, there's quite a few of us up here. It's a nice part of town. It's tucked away. You're not stuck in Houston. It's a good balance between being close to town and living in the suburbs. It's a little slice of God's country, and I love it. To the question at hand, how accurate is the weather forecast? I don't know. I'd say they're probably, I will say 75%. Who really knows? I mean, I still use my Native American weather rock that I inherited from my grandparents. It hangs from a tripod and has a sign. If rock is wet, it is raining. If rock is white, it is snowing. If rock is hard to see, it's foggy. If rock is moving, it is windy. If rock is missing, hurricane. With that, I'll say 7-3, hand it back to net. Everybody have a blessed day and stay safe out there. This is Alpha 5 Juliet Whiskey, and we'll be listening.
All righty. Thanks, James. Appreciate you joining us. And I was just watching the Weather Channel, which I always have on when I'm doing the morning brew. It looks like you had a little storm go through Fort Worth there, I don't know, a little while ago. But have a good day. Next up, KA5 GSS Shane in Beaumont, Texas. Good morning, Shane.
Hard to follow Alpha 5JW, ain't it? That was pretty good. So I'm about maybe an hour away from him, and I will say that it all depends on who you listen to. We've got several of them here that they're never wrong because they truly never give you a forecast. It's so wide that it may rain. They give themselves a 25% that it may not rain. I mean, you can't get a straight answer out of them. It's almost like listening to somebody on trial. But we do have one gentleman here in Beaumont that he does give a good forecast, and I'll say he's 75% right. So hopefully he's not too right today. We're supposed to get a lot of wind, so everybody check your antennas down here in southeast Texas. This is Kilo Alpha 5, Gulf Sierra Sierra. Back to net control. Everybody have a good one.
Thanks for joining us, Shane. I appreciate it. KQ8U, Bob, up in Ecorse, Michigan. Good morning, Bob.
Morning, Scott, Vicky, and the rest of the crew. I gotta say 75%, maybe even 80%. They give you the weather, but a lot of times where we are in this area, things tend to go west of us and miss us. It goes over top of us. We don't get nowhere near as bad as anywhere else, snow or anything. Supposed to rain today, though. Everybody have a good one. KQ8U, back to net.
Alrighty, thanks, Bob. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Next up, one of our hosts here on the Morning Brew, KE0GKF out in Omaha, Nebraska. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, Scott, Vicky, everyone on the Brew. Everyone says, well, come to our city because just wait 10 minutes and the weather will change. They say that in every single city. But come to Nebraska if you really want change. Yesterday, I was on my motorcycle, 60 degrees, my full gear on, toasty warm, enjoying the afternoon. Tonight, we've got blizzard warning, wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour. Less than 24 hours, well, just about 24 hours. From riding my sport bike to blizzard, that's change. I would say our weather out here and everything, National Weather Service, and do they all get a lot of it from the same place, NOAA and all that? I don't know. They're about 75% accurate. I'd go with the 75%ers. Everybody have a great morning. Back to you, Scott.
Alrighty, thanks, Jeff. And variety is the spice of life. Good day, and thanks for joining us. N5JOJ, Bill out in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. Good morning, Bill.
Hey, top of the morning, Scott. Brew crew there. To answer your question, they're fairly accurate. I tell you, they're right on when we have tornado warnings because, and even the severe thunderstorms. They'll put on there all the counties for like a half an hour ahead, and they'll put like 7:35. This is going to hit this town. 7:37 is going to be here, and they're pretty accurate on that. As far as the extended forecast, that's probably about 75%. But when the storms kick up, the severe storms, our radar system here in Oklahoma is pretty darn good, I think, anyway. But anyhow, good morning to everyone. Everyone have a super day, and we're in the mix. We're under a tornado warning for the next 4 hours. A tornado watch for the next 4 hours. So that's what we're under right now. Have a good day, everyone. 73s, N5JOJ, back to net control.
Thank you, Bill. Yeah, and I was just watching all the Oklahoma tornado warnings there on the Weather Channel. They seem pretty good with it, too, and get it out quick. Have a good day. WA2, WWK, Ron in Amherst, New York. Good morning.
Good morning, WHW, WK. As far as Weather Watch is concerned, I do watch it a fair amount. And I think they're probably up around 80% accurate, especially when you have the warnings coming up. I do watch them on my phone, and I do watch them on 162.55 in the area here. The rest of the day is, well, I got some chores to do around the house. I've got to run down, pick up my bagels, and a couple other things. WHW, WK.
All righty, Ron, you have yourself a good day. Enjoy those bagels. This is W2BLT, KA8BYU, Roy. Good morning, and how often do you think your local forecast is accurate? 25, 50, 75, or 100%?
Yeah, the Brew, KA8BYU. I'd give them 60-40 because you can look at a couple of the different local ones here, and they're different. And they can't even agree between the stations. So I'll give them 60-40 on that. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Roy. We appreciate it, and have yourself a fine day. W2AJR and in Cheektowaga, New York. Good morning.
Good morning, Scott. Everybody on the Brew. I give them the 75%. They're right at least that often. The major stuff, the big stuff, they seem to be pretty good on, at least lately. They've predicted a lot of the heavy snows around here and stuff. So that's really what you're interested in is the severe weather. They want to make sure they're right there. So the rest of the day is work, and then I don't know, we'll do some nets tonight or play some radio or something. 7-3, all have a great day. Thank you, Scott.
All right, thank you, Andy. Maybe we'll talk to you on the TechNet tonight. Next up, at K1 AOS, Alex, High Springs, Florida. Good morning, Alex.
Everyone on the morning Brew. About 59 degrees here and sunny right now in High Springs and Gainesville. I'd say we're pretty accurate. I'm going to give them about a 75% chance of calling it. Every so often, summertime, it's always 50-50 chance of rain because it's just 50-50 chance of rain. But, yeah, they're pretty good around here. All right, that's about it. Everyone have a great day, and back to Net Control, K1 AOS.
All righty, thanks, Alex. Appreciate it, and always good talking with you. All righty, folks, this is WLT. Let's get a list started, and I'll start running it, and what I don't get to, why, we'll give it over to Mike. Anybody looking to join us, please come with your call sign twice and slowly.
November 9 Echo, Hotel Tango, and 9 EHT. Good morning, in and out.
In and out. Good morning.
Papa Tango, Echo. Good morning, everyone, in and out.
Kilo Charlie 3, Lima Alpha Victor. Kilo Charlie 3, Lima Alpha Victor.
Kilo Bravo 8, Papa Lima Victor. Kilo Bravo 8, Papa Lima Victor, Chris, in and out.
4 REL, Whiskey 4, Romeo Echo Lima.
AQ4 Zulu Delta Foxtrot. AQ4 Zulu Delta Foxtrot, in and out.
Bravo.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Romeo Foxtrot. Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Romeo Foxtrot.
The Echo N1DCE, in and out.
November 2, Kilo.
All right, let's hold up there for just a moment. We got a bunch of people keying up here. Let me tell you who I got. I got N90HT Doug in New Caney, Texas, was in and out. I got KO4RAH Ray in Huntsville, Alabama. Haven't talked to you for a while, was in and out. We had KE2CCK Matthew in Frankfurt, New York. We had KD5ZPT Paul in Baton Rouge was in and out. We had KC3LAV, K4OCN, KB8PLV Chris in Novi, Michigan was in and out. We had WW4REL Robert in Orlando. We had KQ4ZDF Bill in Monticello, Kentucky was in and out. We had VA3CRF Verne up in Waterdown. And we had a couple stations here we want to get the call signs for. One ended like in a Victor Bravo. Could you come back again with that call sign twice, please? Well, with nothing heard on the Victor Bravo, we had an N1 station in there. N1, could you come back with that call sign again, please?
November 1, Delta Charlie Echo, N1, DCE, Dave in Vermont.
All righty, we got you, Dave. Anyone else that we missed in there, please come with your call sign twice and slowly. We did get KD4RRJ via the text and W5MHD Mark via the text. Who else do we have that we missed in there? Please come now.
November 8th, Quebec, Yankee,
4
Quebec.
Kilo India 4, Mike Tango Golf, Gary in and This is Kilo 4, Whiskey Papa Sierra. Kilo 4, Whiskey Papa Sierra.
Kilo 5,
November 2, India, Sierra, November 2, India, Sierra,
N8RWF. Good morning. Please check me in and out.
All righty, we're going to hold it up there for just a moment. Let me tell you who I got here. We got N8RWF Bill in Trenton, Michigan was in and out. We also had a station in there that neither of us got. It was KI4MTG in Christiansburg, Virginia. I heard you in there, but you were doubling with somebody, but we got you. We had N2ISK Bob, K5YNU Florin, K4 WPS William, N8ZYQ. Can you give me a confirmation in that call, the N8 call?
Very close. November 8th, Quebec, Yankee, Quebec. November 8th, Quebec, Yankee, Quebec. Mobile.
Alrighty, we got you. And everybody else, I acknowledged. I'm going to turn it over to Mike, K2CMT. He's got a good list going here. Thanks, everybody, for joining me tonight. And thanks to Vicky on the log and Bill helping me out there for... This is Scott, W2BLT. Have a great day. It's all yours, Mike.
Thanks a lot, Scott. You're a real buddy. Good morning, everyone. This is Mike, K2CMT in DeBerry, Florida, and Vicky is my sidekick, KEAVKY in Lambertville, Michigan. Let me go to the first mobile on here, and only mobile I've got listed, Jay in Detroit, Michigan, N8YQ. Jay, the question of the day, and for the rest of you, how often is your local weather forecast accurate? 25, 50, 75, or 100%?
Well, good morning, everybody, from beautiful, rainy downtown Detroit. I'd give them at least 75%. Our NBC affiliate here in town, the chief meteorologist there, you can tell she's a real scientist at heart because she'll give you the details. She'll tell you what she knows, but then she'll let you know also if she's waiting on higher definition models to come through, and she'll let you know if she thinks there's a chance of her forecast changing. So she does her best. They do a pretty good job. Have a great morning, everybody. Back to Net Control, N8 QYQ.
Well, I don't know if it has anything to do with actual accuracy of the notice that the prettier of a forecaster, the better of an accuracy. For some, maybe I just pay more attention. Matthew in Frankfort, New York, KE2CCK. Good morning, Matthew.
Hey there, good morning to everybody on the morning brew. Yeah, we have a great meteorologist up here, Bill Curd, and News Channel 2 is really accurate for the most part. Give them a solid 75%. They go above and beyond. Yeah, they do a good job, and I'll tell you what, it was strange because how accurate they were when all these tornadoes came, and we've never had tornadoes up here in New York before last year, not like we did.
I think we may still have a carrier out there. I hope you can hear me out there. KT3LAV, Mike in Lidditz, Pennsylvania. Good morning.
Yes, sir, and good morning. Good morning to you here on the crew this morning. This is Kilo Charlie 3, Lima Alpha Victor, Mike, and we're in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. It's a cloudy, overcast day today, 30 degrees, 32 degrees. I think you're right 75% of the time. It's a beautiful day. We'll look outside to see if the pet rock is wet. KC3LAV, back to the net. Thank you very much. We're clear.
Thank you for joining us this morning, Mike. Next up is Tommy, Northern Kentucky, city of Burlington, Kentucky, and K4OCN. Good morning, Tommy.
Good morning, Brew Crew. This is K4OCN from beautiful Northern Kentucky. Right now, the local weather, the local TV stations are going through downsizing. They're all going and getting rid of their experienced people and getting lesser experienced, lesser paid people. So I expect at some point the quality of the local forecast will probably dip. But so far it's probably running about 75%. Anyway, I want to wish everybody a great day and a week. K4C clear.
Well, thank you, Tommy, for joining us this morning. Appreciate you being here. Robert in Orlando, Florida, WW4RE. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning to everyone on the net. I primarily use the Weather Channel app, and they're pretty good. They're 75 to 80% accurate most of the time.
Thank you, Robert. One thing I will mention, and that is that depending on how far out you expect the forecast to be, or how far out you need it to be, the further less accurate any of them are. But on a local basis, we do good here in Orlando. We see it coming. Texas gets it first. then we're prepared. Vern in Waterdown, Ontario, BA3CRF. Good morning, and how's the walkabout going, Vern?
Morning, Mike and Vicky. Thanks for picking me up. Yep, just out for a walk. Not a day. It's about 34 degrees and overcast. We're supposed to have a bit of a rain event happening. And it's going to be a rain event because tomorrow's temperature, forecast temperature, is going to be over 50. And we've still got a whole pile of snow around. So there's going to be a lot of water around. Probably a chance of flooding. In terms of the question of the day, Mike, I'm going to go with 75%. I feel they're pretty accurate. Environment Canada does a pretty good job. And I want to put a plug in for weather radio. I was delighted after getting my ham license to discover as I was tuning around that pretty much anywhere you go in North America, you can listen to one of the weather radio channels 24/7. All right, Mike, thanks for doing it. Hope everyone has a good day. Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Romeo Foxtrot.
Thank you, Vern. Appreciate the plug for radio, weather radio. It is a handy item. Being a boater, I used to use it. I'm on VHF. Thank you very much. David in Essex Junction, Vermont. N1DCE. Good morning, David. David in Essex Junction, are you still with me, buddy? We'll mark David down as one and done. Thank you for waving a hand at least. William in Orange City Center, Florida, my good neighbor here, K4WPS. Good morning, William.
Good morning, Mr. Mike, and all of those on the Brew crew. This is Kilo 4 Whiskey Papa Sierra. Forecast for today, we have a hot cup of coffee. That's probably another 10 minutes here in the office. There's a wonderful inside temperature of about 71 degrees. Looking outside the window, crisp, clear daylight. That's all I got for the Brew crew. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and God bless you. This is Kilo 4 Whiskey Papa Sierra, and happy birthday to my friend Ryan, who is a newly interested ham studying individual. He is cramming for the test, so give him some prayers. Y'all have a good day. K4WPS is out.
Well, thank you, William, for your comments, and Ryan, good luck, buddy. Read, then just jump in there and take it. And when they offer you the general at the same time, be sure to take it. Don't worry about it. Just take it. It's free. And enjoy your higher standard if you come out. I'm pretty sure you'll do just fine on it. Florin, Conroe, Texas, K5YNU.
Good morning, Mike, Vicky, and everyone on the Brew crew. I'll give it a 75% for the app that I use. They're pretty accurate. Back to the net control, K5YNU, 73.
Thank you, Florin. You have a good day down there, and weather don't look that good in part of Texas, so hunker down, buddy. Bob in Woodbridge, New Jersey, N2SK. Come on, Bob.
Good morning to the crew. Yeah, well, I'd say around here 80%, thereabouts, between the Weather Service out on Long Island, the National Weather Service, and also the, I don't know, one of the weather apps I have on my phone. But the old gag was the weather reports on TV were 100% accurate 3% of the time. That was an old one, but yeah, we had a, I don't know, a few days ago. They said it was going to be windy, and it was windy all night. And then I got up to find out that the wind had flipped over my 150-pound pellet smoker grill and blown it 20 feet across my yard, which is really, really incredible because it takes two people can barely move this thing, and it flew over and across the yard. So I would never experience anything like this here. It was as if a tornado hit it, but I don't know, it happened during the night. Anyway, everybody have a good day, and see you tomorrow, hopefully.
Good. Thank you, David. Next up, pardon me, Florence. Dan in Coons, Texas, 85RRJ.
This is KD5RRJ. Thank you, Mike, for picking me up, and Vicky for running along, and appreciate y'all being there. And I guess I'd have to give the local guy about a 75%, and there's about two other local channels that they're just amateurs. They're hacking at it, and they don't get it nearly as often as the one does. So pretty good, but I'm a storm spotter and on the National Weather Service Slack channel, so generally when I want to know what the weather's going to be like, I go to the source and don't mess with the local stuff. But anyway, we've got a major wind event coming in on the Gulf Coast. They've even had to cancel some Mardi Gras parades for Fat Tuesday today. So I know there's a lot of parade goers and party goers that are going to be very disappointed, but gusting winds over 50 mile an hour in some areas, so that'll wreak havoc with your parade float. Y'all have a good day. KD5RRJ, back to net.
I can understand that very much. Floats have a tendency to float when the winds get up there. Thank you for being with us this morning. Mark and Gracie, my favorite blonde from Albuquerque, New Mexico, W5MHG.
Well, good morning, W5MHG. Gracie says, bow wow, yippee-yi-yay, with 34 degrees in the backyard. Get it pretty good here in Albuquerque. We live in a bowl. We're surrounded by mountains. I give it a 75, and they do pretty good. Thanks for all you guys do, Vicky and the crew, and we do appreciate all the work you put in the backbone. W5MHG from the land of enchantment, and we love that text line, 73.
Thank you for being with us, Mark, as always. Jerry in Christiansburg, Virginia, KI4MTG. Good morning, Jerry. KI4MTG, you still with me, Jerry? Jerry must have been one and done. Thank you for waving a hand, Jerry. Tim in Windsor, Ontario, Canada, VE3TGN. Good morning, Tim.
Everybody on the Brew there, and Ricky and yourself as the net controller. Well, I would give Dave Rexton there on Channel 7 100%. Anytime when there's severe weather, like tornado, slaughtered for 30 years there with Ken Ward, myself, and but that fella is really good with the weather, and that from Detroit there on Channel 7. So I give him 100%.
Thank you for being with us this morning, Tim. Charlie and Bertie, Sun City Center, Florida, and Tampa Bay, NA2B. Good morning, Charlie.
Good morning, Mike, Vicky, and everybody on the net from Bertie and I in Tampa Bay this morning. Quite nice, 63 degrees this morning. Anyway, Mike, pretty hard to be wrong in Florida, being that half the year is the dry season, the other half of the year is the rainy season. But I'd have to say at least 75%. I'd probably give them a little higher mark than that, but for the most part, they're right on the money, and pretty happy with that. Anyway, not a lot going on. We had our, speaking of weather, we had our hurricane shutters put on yesterday, so we're all primed up and ready for the year. You have a good day, and thanks for what you do, Mike. K2CMT, NA2B, back to that.
Well, thank you, Bertie, for being with us as a regular almost every day. I don't think I've ever, you only missed one or two when you went vacation. Thank you for being here, Charlie. Joe in New York, AJ0EF. Good morning, Joe.
Vicky, the rest of the Brew. I just use the built-in on my iPhone, and I'd say it's about 75% right. It's kind of a field I wish I'd gotten into because I can get paid for being wrong. With that, I'll turn it back to Net Control. This is AJ0EF 73.
Well, I think they do a pretty good job, too, here in Florida, especially where you got the Gulf of Mexico on one side and Atlantic on the other. It's pretty easy to see stuff coming and which direction it's coming from. But I would probably, if 90% wasn't in the list, so I had to pick 75 like most of you. Doug in Homosassa, Florida, WA8CLG. Good morning, Doug.
This is WA8CLG. Very good morning, everyone. And our weather is, weather forecast is pretty good, and I'll have to give them 75 to 80%. Especially like our summertime weather, which is warm, 20% chance of rain, and a chance of clouds. So, and that covers from Sarasota area all the way up to north of Crystal River, which is about 250-mile range. So somewhere in there, they're going to be right. And with that, back to you, Mike, WA8CLG.
Thank you for being with us this morning, Doug. For Godfather, he's in a place where the weather is pretty predictable if you understand how lake effect works. WB2JPQ. Good morning, Dick.
You just have to learn that a couple feet was just a dusting in western New York. But I go with about 75%, I think. You do a pretty good job here. Again, being close to the lakes like everybody else has said. So put me down for 75. Roger's coming up here in a minute. I see he's on the log. I'm going to let him tell you all about ECR Aeronautical Mobile today. It's his wheelhouse here to him and Randy, so I'll not go with that. But I do want to, we are getting people that are subscribing to the newsletter, and they are subscribing because I have mentioned it. We can track that. And if you did not get the magazine, the Reflector magazine, you can subscribe yourself with our bit.ly address, bit.ly/ECR subscribe. You can subscribe yourself, and quite a number. We've got 150 some people already that have subscribed themselves since we started this subscribe, which is a pretty good number because it goes out to thousands and thousands of people. That's it for me. Like Scott said, we'll see everybody on the TechNet tonight at 8 o'clock. This is WB2JPQ.
Thank you, Dick, and thank you for the updates. Kurt in Troy, Michigan, N9CPY. Good morning, Kurt.
Morning. I would say here in the Detroit area, I'm going to follow NAQIQ's lead there and say our NBC affiliate does really good, but I actually follow the National Weather Service, who's got a great station near us over in White Lake. They do a phenomenal job. Today I learned that there's a Slack channel for the Weather Service, so I'm going to definitely check that out. That being said, I will return it back to that N9CPY.
Well, thank you for joining us. I think it's the first time we've spoken. You've checked in, I'm sure, before on other net controllers' shifts, but I'm glad to have you. Terry in Battle Creek, Nebraska, W0TDL.
Good morning, Mike and Vicky and the Brew crew. This is W0TDL out here in Battle Creek, Nebraska. I would say 75% of the time they've got it right. We're so close to the Rocky Mountains here that the weather is pretty volatile at times, and I sure wouldn't want to have that job. Right now we got light rain, expecting snow later on, and along with 60 to 70 mile an hour winds, and they're talking maybe blizzard conditions, so we'll see how accurate that is. Thank you. This is W0TDL, back to net.
Well, thank you, Terry. Thank you for joining us. Roger, the 20-meter man, along with Randy, and also co-conspirators with the aeronautical net. KO4QMM. Good morning, Roger.
Good morning, Mike and Brew crew, and put me down for 70. I give them, and as long as they're good with the hurricanes, that's what's important. And Carlos got a hold of me, and he's doing we'll be doing an aeronautical net hopefully today about 3:30 when he should be in the air, and Randy and I will be on the radio, hopefully 14.317 or around there, and Washington to Sonoma, California, 5-hour flight. I think 5 minutes, and be a good time to get in there and get a aeronautical contact if you wish. And stand by. Yeah, so that should be a 5-hour flight, leaving out about 3:30, or be up in the air about 3:30. So we'll be on the radio about 2:45. Anybody be on the list or whatever, get in there early, and we'll be just taking check-ins. Thanks for getting me in there. KO4QMM clear.
Always good to hear you, Roger. CQ, CQ, CQ. Time for some new customers to join the Morning Brew. Come now, please, twice and slowly, one at a time.
Fox 4, Alpha Charlie Bravo, Kilo Fox 4, Alpha Charlie Bravo. OIE, Kilo Bravo 2, Oscar India Echo.
N0 RNE, November 0, Romeo November. In and out today, thank you.
Kilo Echo 2, Charlie Sierra Uniform. Kilo Echo 2, Charlie Sierra Uniform.
November Whiskey 4, Quebec, NW4U.
In and out, 731.
Mike Yankee, KE2AMY, in and out.
November 2, Victor Lima Kilo. November 2, Victor Lima Kilo.
KC9TEW. KC9TEW.
Okay, let's hold up our moment. That puts us over the 100 check-in mark. Let me acknowledge Rudy in Smithfield, North Carolina, KN4RW. Jeff in Crown Point, Indiana, KC9TEW. Jeff in Lancaster, New York, N2VLK. Frank in Selden, New York, was in and out, KE2AMY. Thank you for waving a hand. And Ken in Donaldsonville, Georgia waved a hand, KQ4UZG. Jim in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, along with his bride Trish, NW4Q. Paul in Lancaster, New York, KE2CSU. Jeff in Lewisburg, North Carolina, N0RNE. Frank in Lancaster, New York, KC3PQ. Michael in St. Albans, New York, KB2OIE. And Terry in Tennessee, KF4ACB. Let's start at the top of my list. Terry, good morning to you, sir, and welcome to the East Coast Reflector. Question of the day for all of you is, how often is your local weather forecast accurate? Is it 25, 50, 75, or 100%? What say you, Terry?
Everybody on the net, good to hear so many call signs here from all over the United States. It's always just a cool thing for me to hear that. I'm hoping the battery on this radio is not going to go out. Let me be sure I'm in here.
You got you, Terry. Go ahead.
Okay. I just wanted to check, make sure my battery wouldn't run down. As far as the question goes, I would have to say between 75% and 100. So I'm gonna say 75. They're not too bad around here as far as local weather goes. They get pretty close most of the time. But I'm located in the Cumberland Gap area. I always include the fact that Daniel Boone led the settlers through to the west, right here in Cumberland Gap. I'm in a little Harrogate. I can look up my front window and see the gap in the mountains. About a mile away from where I live. I turn it back to you. Wish everybody 73, and I hope everybody has a great day. It's sunny and 43 degrees here right now. I think we're going to have a nice day, except for high winds. I think there's a wind for later on this evening, or later on this morning. Talk to y'all later. Have a good one. KF4 ACB 73 to everybody.
Well, Terry, I know exactly where you are. I have a little town, Middlesboro there, and a little company called Cumberland Gap Provisioning. I used to distribute for them, and absolutely love their ham products. Next up is Michael from St. Albans, New York, KP2OIE.
Good morning, everybody. This is KB2OIE, Michael, St. Albans, New York. We got 38 degrees. I'll have to say 50%. 50% on the question of the day. And everybody have a happy Tuesday and happy National Pancake Day. Today is Pancake Day. I'm going to hit myself out the IHOP. They're giving out Everybody have a beautiful day. This is KB2OIE.
I love it when a plan comes together, Michael. Frank in Lancaster, New York, KC2JPQ. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Mike, and everybody listening. I'm going to say I'll give them 75% accuracy. And in the defense of a weatherman, anybody that tries to predict the weather by the over here in western New York, good luck. And everybody have a great day. I'll say 7 threes and send it back to the net, KC2JPQ.
Thank you, Frank. I'm sure that is a tough location to predict on. Paul in Lancaster, New York as well, KE2CSU. Come on, Paul.
Kilo Echo Charlie Sierra uniform. With the lake effect in western New York, it's usually easy predicting the winter. I give them 75%. Back to you.
Thank you, Paul. 75 it is. Next up is Jim and Trish from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, NW4Q. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Mike and Ned. We have good weather people here, and I'm going to give them a 75. Almost always right. It's just a matter of the intensity. Y'all have a nice day.
Jim, that's one thing about the weather forecast. Most of the time they say there's going to be rain. It means someone's going to get wet in the general area or broadcasting area. So it depends on how powerful the transmitter is to how accurate the forecast is going to be in your neck of the woods. Good thing. Jeff in Lancaster, New York, N2BLK. Good morning.
Good morning, Mike, and everybody on the Brew. As Frank said earlier, living on the Great Lakes, makes things a little bit difficult. I'll say 50%. Not that it's the weather forecaster's fault so much as it is the crazy weather we get here. With that, I'll turn it back to the net, and I'll say 7-3 and 2GLK.
Thank you for being with me this morning, Jeff. And the other Jeff, I don't know what it is about this net, but we have a tendency to have people with the same first name check in right beside each other. Jeff, good morning, Indiana, KC9TEW. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Mike, and everybody on the net. I'm going to say 75%, and if I can take a minute to make a couple of... First of all, our think tank meeting, great group of people, is the second and fourth Thursday. The next meeting we have is 3/13/25. Also, the Alex and the aeronautical mobile guys are going to be doing a presentation sometime in the next 2 weeks. They're going to have to stay tuned to find out about the latest details. But we'll keep you up to date, that's for sure. Thanks for letting me do that, Mike, and back to you, Nick.
Anytime, Jeff. Anytime you got information to share, you're welcome to share it here on the Morning Brew. Rudy in Smithfield, North Carolina, KN4RW. Good morning to you, sir.
Okay, good morning, everybody on the net, KN4W, Smithfield. I have to agree with everybody in the 75%. 75% of the time, they pretty much on point. So, with that, I'm best bet next show. Have a great day. 7 degrees, KN4W.
Thank you, Rudy. Coming in on the text line, Dean in South Milwaukee, Wisconsin, KB9YDK. Good morning, Dean. KB9YDK, you still with me, Dean? Move along to Chuck in Lancaster, New York, W2EM, by way of Sebring, Lake Placid, Florida.
Good morning, Mike, and the rest of the group. Yeah, down here in Florida, they're pretty accurate, but say up home in near Buffalo, New York, I'd say 75%, like Paul and the rest of the guys were talking about up there. It's tough predicting what the weather is going to be with the lake effect. They do a pretty good job. Not always on the mark, but pretty good. They do have a tendency to over dramatize things, but then they'll come on and they'll say, "We're not kidding. We're really not kidding," and they aren't. That's when you get really nailed with stuff. Anyway, everybody have a great day. W2EM. I'll be clear.
Thank you, Chuck. Yeah, when they say we're not kidding, it's time to pay close attention. This is Mike, K2CMT in DeBerry, Florida, along with Vicky, KE8DKY in Lambertville, Michigan on the log. Time for some new customers here on the Morning Brew. Come now, please, twice and slowly and one at a time.
Romeo Tango, WF4RT.
Kilo Echo 8, Oscar Tango Golf, KE8, OTG.
Kilo Oscar 4, Fox Bravo Mike. Kilo Oscar 4, Foxtrot Bravo Mike.
November Whiskey 3 United NW3U.
Echo Tango.
Golf 4, Kilo Mike Romeo, KG4, KMR.
Echo 8, Uniform X-Ray Mike, Kilo Echo 8, Uniform X-Ray Mike. Ryan in Royal Oak, Michigan, in and out.
Okay, let's hold up a moment. Let me acknowledge these last stations. Ryan in Royal Oak, Michigan, with KE8UXN. Jeff in Wekiwachi, Florida, the home of the Mermaids, KG4KMR. And I had a station ending in VET. Would that station give me your full call, please? You cut yourself off before.
November 3, Victor Echo Tango, Bruce here. I'm mobile in upstate New York right now.
Okay, Bruce, before I acknowledge the rest, and since you're mobile, I'm going to go ahead and take your call. If you heard the question of the day, 25, 50, 75, or 100%, what is your local weather forecast? How's its accuracy?
Our weather here is about 22 degrees and cloudy. Lots of snow up here in upstate New York. I'm near Plattsburgh, New York. Mobile up here visiting my family.
And how do you consider the accuracy of your local forecast back home?
Probably 50%.
Okay, 50% it is. Let me acknowledge the rest of these stations then. W3U, David in Garner, North Carolina. KO4FBM, my buddy Jose down in St. Cloud, Florida. W9SAM was in and out. Thank you for waving a hand. Sam from Union, Ohio. And Larry in Ida, Michigan. OTG. Haven't talked to you in a while, Larry. Chris, my neighbor here, old man from DeBerry, Florida. W4F4RT. And let me go to you, Chris, while I got you. How often is your local weather forecast accurate? 25, 50, 75, or 100%?
Good morning, Mike and the Brew Crew. As you well know, here in DeBerry, they're 100% right 50% of the time. I hope everybody's going to have a great day and 7-3 of the net. WF4RT.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, I've heard that before. Larry in Ida, Michigan, KE8OTG. Larry, is it motorcycle weather yet?
Well, good morning, everybody. K8OTG, Larry Knight of Michigan. The answer to that is a big no. Nasty weather coming here today, lots of rain, dreary, just not very pleasant. But as far as our forecasters, and I'm going to be generous here, I'm going to say 50% of the time. And like I said, that's being generous. K8OTG, back to you, Mike.
Thank you, Larry. Spring's just around the corner. Keep a stiff upper lip and look forward to it. Jose, St. Cloud, Florida, KO4FBM.
Good morning, Mike, and the rest of the morning brew. For the question of the day, I would say 75%. And for the rest of the day, I got several jobs to do today, beginning of the week. Back to you, Mike 73. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Jose. Stay safe out there. We've got a lot of different areas around the Orlando area, all the way up to my neck of the woods to cover, so be safe. NW3U, David in Garner, North Carolina. Good morning, David.
Well, good morning, Mike and everybody on the Brew NW3U. I give our weather forecasters 75%. They do a pretty good job. And not much going on today. I had a good day yesterday outside doing some yard work. I think I'm going to take a little bit of a rest day today. Nice to see everybody out there this morning, and everybody have a good day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. 7-3 NW3U.
Thank you for joining us, David. Jeff in Weechee, Watchee, Florida, KG4KMR. Good.
Good morning, Mike. This is KG4KMR, and here they do a pretty good job outside of hurricane prognosticating, of course. Sometimes they get that all bungled up, but the rest of the time they just stick their head out the window and say it's sunny or wet. But I'll still give them a 75% because they do mess up on the cold part. This is KG4KMR. Back to you.
Well, Jeff, I figured out a long time ago that when Dick and Derby Dan are freezing, Scott are freezing cold, we're going to be a little chilly around here. That's just the way it works. Donnie in Jacksonville Beach, Florida, KM4CTB. Good morning, Donnie.
Good morning, Mike, Vicki, and everybody on the net. KM4CTB, Donnie and sunny, 62 degrees, Jacksonville Beach, Florida. Can't beat this. That's the nice thing about Florida. If you don't like the weather, just wait a little bit. It'll be fine. We'll give the weather guessers at least that 75, Mike. They do a pretty good job with it. Fortune telling is a tough duty anyway. Thanks for doing the net. KM4CTB. Back to net.
Thank you for being here this morning, Donnie. I'm going to ask for Echo Link and digital stations that haven't had a chance to get in yet. Here's your chance. Echo Link and digital stations only, please.
Kilo Charlie Papa Oscar. Kilo Charlie 5. Okay, Papa. SPV, Dan, KD2, SPV.
KC4SHU, Kilo Charlie 40, Hotel Uniform, in and out. Good morning, all.
Okay, let me acknowledge these digital and Echo Link stations. KC4SHU, Kermit, Palm City, Florida, waved his hand. Thank you, Kermit. Dan in Buffalo, New York, KD2SPV. David in Burleson, Texas. I think we just, yeah, David. Thank you. Let me go to Dan in Buffalo, New York. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone on the Brew. This is KD2SPV. Weather-wise, I'll give them about a 50%, but there's a lot of times it's only 25% because we get accused of getting a lot more snow than we ever see. The snow belts in this area are such that I can get up lawnmower when the guy a couple miles away has 4 feet of snow. Back to you, 73 KG2 SDB.
Thank you, Dan. And let me go back to David a moment, Burleson, Texas. KC5 CPO. Did we speak, David? I want to make sure I didn't miss you.
Not today. This is my first check-in.
Well, David, it's your turn then. KC5 CPO. David is in Burleson, Texas. Question of the day, David, is how often is your local weather forecast accurate? 25, 50, 75, or 100%?
Thank you for taking my call and doing a great job on the net. Thank you for being here. After last night, we had some severe weather and they called it, and they were right. So I'd say a little better than 75%. And so grateful for all the fine men and women out here that are doing the hard job of predicting the weather out here in north central Texas. Again, thanks for taking my call. 73 KC5 CPO.
Well, thank you for being with us this morning, David. Glad to have you. General check-ins. Come now, please, twice and slowly.
Control 4 Kilo Hotel Zulu and 4 kilohertz in and out.
Lima, Whiskey 3, Bravo Radio Lima.
K2EJ, K2EJ.
November 4, Romeo Hotel Echo. November 4, Romeo Hotel Echo.
Echo 6.
W2KJV. W2KJV.
And KB2QBQ. KB2QBQ. In and out. Good morning.
KC3DXD. Kilo Charlie 3 Bravo X-Ray Delta. Check me in and out, please.
Okay, let me acknowledge these stations that just checked in. N4KHZU, wave the hand. John in Rochester, New York. Bradley in New Kingston, Pennsylvania, W3BRL. Stephen in Abington, Maryland, K2EJ. Roger in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, N4RAG. Alfred, new to the system from Half Moon Bay, California. And that may be questionable, so KE6FGD or FAE, would you clarify, please?
Kilo 6, Mike Alpha Echo MAE.
Thank you, Larry. We got you that time. Mary in Homosassa, Florida, KB2QBQ was in and out and waved a hand, waving right back at you, Mary. And her better half, Tony in Homosassa, Florida, one of our system facilitators, W2KJV. In Waxford, Pennsylvania, waved a hand, KC3BXD. Don't see any mobiles there, so let me go to the top of my list. Bradley, New Kingston, Pennsylvania, W3BRL. Good morning.
Good morning to the East Coast Reflector. This is Whiskey 3, Bravo Radio Lima. I that the question of the day was how accurate is your weather forecast in your area? Correct me if I'm wrong, but living in Pittsburgh here, it is about 25% accurate. Being a weatherman is the one job you can get completely wrong and come in the next day and be fine, still have your job. So anyway, W3BRL, good morning to everyone and have a great day.
Well, Bradley, you can move down. We got a 75% average going this morning here in Florida. So we'll know, if you get here, you'll know what's coming. You just need to know whether to wear long sleeves or short sleeves. Thank you for joining us this morning. Steve in Abington, Maryland, K2EJ. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Mike and everybody. Well, let's see. The weather forecast here in the Mid-Atlantic, specifically near the Chesapeake Bay in Maryland, is usually about 75% due to the drastic swings we have here. And we have, and it's officially we have 15 seasons here. So instead of the 4. So anyway, so that's the joke around here. Otherwise, I'm at home today, be going into the office tomorrow, so got a meeting downtown. It's crazy. Anyway, back to you, Mike, K2EJ.
Thank you for being with us, Stephen, and we look forward to seeing you here. Well, I won't be here tomorrow. I've got enough other plans. Roger in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, N4RHE.
Kilo 2 Country Music Television. Good morning, Brewmeister Mike and clever cousin Vicky. November 4, Romeo Hotel Echo. 75% correct. I don't have a TV to ogle the attractive weather girls, and as a sailor I read the 3 cloud types and the 3 cloud heights and feel the wind if it's veering or backing, and that gives me some indication of what is approaching. You are 100% correct, Mike, about fitting the general test at the same time as the tech. I was given the option, but I did not know. November 4, Roger Ham Enthusiast. Return to net.
Thank you, Roger, for being with us this morning. And yeah, I'll say it again. I can't emphasize it enough. Anyone out there taking the test for the first time, you will be given an option of taking the general for no additional charge. And I swear that they are so close in information that you just need to go ahead and take both of them and get it over with, and you'll find your general before you know it. Larry in Calamasa, California, KE6MAE.
Good morning, everybody. KE6MAE. Out here in California, we're probably 75% right, except sometimes they miss the rainstorms a little bit, but we got a wide area to cover. Like we're in Southern California. And when 4 times I've been to Florida, the only thing I've ever needed is T-shirts and shorts. KE6MAE.
Well, that's when the Chamber of Commerce is dressing you, Larry. They always provide T-shirts and shorts, and mostly with a Disney logo on them. Thank you for being with us. Next up is Tony, one of our assistant facilitators and the man that keeps the slideshows going on YouTube. Tony, South of Florida, W2KJD.
Morning, Mike, and everyone on the Morning Brew. Mike, I didn't catch the question of the day. Could you repeat it for me? I'm sorry.
Question of the day, Tony, is how often is your local weather forecast accurate? 25, 50, 75, or 100%?
I'm going to go with 25. You're right. I mainly use Alexa, and she's not real accurate. Back to you, Mike. Hope everyone has a great day. W2KJV.
Well, Tony, I think I'd advise you I'd be finding a more accurate weather forecaster, and one that I know Alexa sounds good, but she don't really look that good on the phone. find you a pretty one. The pretty ones seem to be accurate. Let me acknowledge Dave from Waxhaw, Pennsylvania again. KC3BXP waved the hand. New stations wishing to join us? Its time is out, so make it quick.
N8MJN, Mike Juliet November, mobile out.
Okay, looks like we got one more on the list for today's net. 125 check-ins in 2 hours' time. N8MJN. Thank you, Mountain, for being my last one today from Sterling Heights, Michigan. That's all for all of us here at the ECR until 8 p.m. tonight, when you'll be checking in with the TechNet. On behalf of Scott, W2BLT, Miss Vicky, KE8VKY, this is Mike, K2CMT 73.